Astro.
Thank you.
I'm planting the bomb.
Bomb's active. Don't let them disarm it.
Ah, behind us, behind us. Oh, wow.
All enemies have been eliminated.
What is going on, guys? Griffin here, coming at you with some Mack gameplay, and today we're going to talk about how we can make Mack better by tweaking his ability just a little bit. So let's head over and check it out. So I wanted to go through the kit that Mack currently has just to kind of give some information and some basis on, hey, this is where Mack needs to go, in my opinion, but this is what he excels at currently, and this is where he lacks, you know, a little bit, and that needs to be tweaked. So Mack, his speed is a 2, which is average speed. His toughness is 4, which is pretty good for his stature. You know, I will say that. His ability is the Lightbomb, plant a device that charges up and launches a massive flashbang a short distance into the air, cooldown 60 seconds. His passive, though, standard issue, start the game with 25 armor, downing enemies instantly repairs this armor. So for his armory, he has access to submachine guns and light machine guns. He starts out with a conviction, and the objection, I think, is his default second, or his default, I think so. Not 100% sure on that. He starts with a warrant by default. He also has access to the Claymore. He has access to the grenade gadget and the APS systems. Then his perk set includes restock at a legendary, crack shot at a legendary, bounce back epic, gunsmith epic, stalker epic, armor rare, blaster rare, and berserker rare. So Mack has a pretty decent kit here, right? I mean, restock as a legendary is okay for what it is. That coupled with the APS systems is very good if you need to be a defender, but it also works very good whenever you couple it with the frag grenades if you're trying to be a little bit more aggressive. Crack shot doesn't hurt anything whatsoever, especially if you really want to invest the money in that. I think where he really shines is his lower tiered perks here, so bounce back, of course, is a massive help. Gunsmith is crazy, especially since he has access to light machine guns. Stalker is always a positive to get. Berserker is always a positive to get, in my opinion, if you have the cash for it. His armor being 25 at a rare, so you have the 25 by default. You buy armor at 20, and you get an additional 25, which puts you up to 50. Whenever you down someone, you get 25 exchange back to you, which makes him very good, makes him very fun to play with, and also very intimidating to play around, which is kind of what you want from this specific character. And then Blaster feels like it's kind of a throwaway perk because the only thing that really contributes to that is the frag grenade, and it does 10% increased damage, so it is what it is at that point. His passive is absolutely incredible. I think that his passive works really well for his kit and also for his character, where you have to go out on a limb and you have to do something in order to gain that passive back, much like Dallas. You have to put yourself out there, you have to get the downs in order to get this refund on the armor. It's also nice to start with armor early game, especially in ranked, whenever you have those pistol rounds, because it makes you a little bit tankier, especially since the revolver is currently broken and ran by pretty much every single person in the game at this particular moment. Where I think Mack is really lacking in his ability to be successful as a rogue is the Lightbomb. I think that this thing is so situational and it is so hard to use correctly that it feels like it is a wasted ability. Now, there's a couple of people in Rogue Company currently that I don't really use their abilities all that often unless I'm in a very, very specific circumstance, right? You have Sigrid's ability, you have Chalk's ability, you have Cannon's ability. There's certain rogues where they really shine with their perks, their kits, and their passive abilities. That's exactly how it should be, in my opinion. You have rogues with really good abilities. They should have less than good perks and weapons, which, you know, weapon mastery, but whatever. You have rogues that have really, really mediocre abilities, but they have good perks and they have good weapons. Like, that is another way of game balance in this particular situation. For Mack, having access to SMGs and light machine guns, it makes him very versatile and it makes him a very good rogue. His passive ability makes him very tough, also with the 4 toughness, but the ability is his downfall. And the problem that I have with his ability is the same problem that I have with every single deployable in the game. It's where you always try to deploy it and it never wants to deploy when you want it to deploy. And that is a huge problem. APS systems, 1 offender. Trip mines, 1 offender. Anvil shield, 1 offender. Max light bomb ability, 1 offender. Like, you have deployables in your game that have to sit on the ground in order to be able to be used. And if you can't set them on the ground, if you can't set them where you want to set them whenever you're in cover, you have to put yourself in a very disadvantaged situation in order to actually place these. What's the point? Mack has access to 2 of these things with the APS systems and also his ability with the light bomb. So you really have to put yourself in a bad situation in order to even put these things out. And then the impact of the light bomb is so insignificant compared to some of the other rogues that it doesn't make it feel like one of these game-changing, tide-turning abilities, much like some of the other abilities in the game. And I think that we can do something to tweak it, right? I think that Mack has the potential to be a very, very, very good rogue. And I think what they need to do, in my opinion, is they need to take the light bomb. They don't need to have it something that is deployable. They need to have it something that is held. They can keep the model the same, take the base off of it, and have it as this lobbed projectile. And you could do a couple of different things in order to tweak this and balance this to make this way more interesting to play with. So if you're lobbing it, there's not a lot of things in the game, if anything that I'm aware of, that has a lobbing arc to it. And I think that that would be very interesting for being able to be very good with something and proficient with it, and also being able to utilize it to get right over the top of cover if the hitboxes for the cover don't screw it up, like the Dima ult, like the Switchblade ult, like everything that happens whenever the grenade interactions with the cover when the game was first released, like, it was absolutely terrible. But give it an arc, make it to where you can actually arc it over cover slightly and it hits not far behind cover, and you can either have this be something that as soon as it comes out of the flashbang, as soon as it comes out of the light bomb carryable device, that it just is a gigantic light that blinds everybody until it hits the ground and then it fizzles out, right? So basically, it's an instantaneous flashbang that moves. And then once it hits something, then it's done, then it goes out. Or something that you can lob into an area. As soon as it hits the ground, it explodes in an area around the same size as the current light bomb, if not a little bit larger, and it blinds anybody that is around that, right? I mean, why not? I think that if you made these changes, then that would make Mack one of 2 things. It would make him an incredible defender because you would be able to lob it into a lane where enemies are actually pushing on the side from, or you can basically make him a breacher. You can lob it onto the site that you're pushing on, and then it would blind anybody that is on that site or force those people out of position and hopefully to secure that down. I think that this would have a lot of implications, and it would make Mack someone that is very versatile in a very, very huge way. I don't know why they decided to have a deployable light bomb thing that you really can't deploy anywhere you want to deploy it, but I mean, it is what it is. I think that Mack is a great character. I think that he's very fun to play with. I like his personality. I like his play style a lot. I hate the light bomb. The light bomb is one of the worst things in the game because it's a deployable, and the deployables do not want to interact with the world the way that you want them as the player to interact in the world. That's just how it is. And whenever you put the light bomb down, then you can see the area of effect. You can see it ticking down. You can see the duration that's left on it. You can see everything about the light bomb. So all it does is basically stops people from pushing this area for 10, 15 seconds until it goes off on its own. Like, that's not good. That's not good. Knowing the area of effect as the enemy is not good. It's just not. It's just bad to play around. It's bad for the Mack user. The only time that you can use it and it be beneficial is if you somehow manage to throw it down without dying. You somehow manage to throw it down in an area where you currently are, right? Where you don't have to go away from cover to be able to deploy it, and then trigger it almost immediately because people are pushing you. That's the only time that you get any real benefits out of this. And it sucks because Mack is such a great character. It's just so clunky to use, and it's just so unsatisfying to use at the same time that most people run Mack without ever using his ability. And that doesn't feel good because you don't want to have a rogue that has access to abilities where one ability is absolutely useless. So I feel like if they made it to be something that is held, something that is shot as a projectile, and something that does various different things, and they could change it, they could tweak it, they could take the idea and run with it. There's several things that they could do with it. Blind everybody as it passes. Okay, that's one thing. Shoot it, and whenever it hits the ground, it explodes, and then it flashes. Shoot it, it hits the ground, raises up into the ground like the current light bomb does, and then it explodes. So it gives people enough time to get away from it, even more time to get away from it at that point. So there's several different things that they could do with it. I think that that would be one of the best things. And I want to give a huge shout out to somebody came into stream, and I don't remember who exactly it was, where we had talked about this for quite a while about how we would change Mack and change his ability up. And they suggested the ability to actually hold the light bomb and use it as a projectile. I think that that's a fantastic idea. And thank you. I don't remember exactly who it was, and I apologize so much for that. But thank you for getting the wheels in my head a spinning. But be sure to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think that the light bomb needs to be improved, and how would you personally improve the light bomb? Be sure to let me know. Also, be sure to check that description for links to Facebook, Discord, and Twitter. Those are the places to contact me. If you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. If you've already subscribed, then consider hitting that join button to become one of the 256 crew members. Also, there is a link in the description for the most current giveaway, so please be sure to check that out. Lastly, on Thursdays from 8 until 11 p.m. Central Time, Sundays from 10 a.m. until we get tired, I will be streaming here on YouTube. So if you're interested and available, please feel free to stop by, say hello there. Thanks for watching, guys.
One up top on B.
Okay.
Just me now.
Look at this guy.
He's gonna run like a bitch.
You'll go nay, father! Bomb spotted!
Nice work, team.
Got him.
Came and dance now, cause you
Nope.
lost, bitch. 4,700 damage. Goddamn. You'd let them know what a light machine gun really can do.
Why they call it that? It's not light.
Because it's lighter than a regular machine gun.
That's true.
They got the mounted ones. If it's light, carry it. I want to shoot one so bad.